There's no pea belt, or hardly any growing of peas in southwest Minnesota. This year, Purus had a strong grower footprint in Montana and the Dakotas. In northeast North Dakota, 342 miles from Dawson, the Betas have been growing peas since 2020 on their farm in Langdon.
Peas honestly work pretty good in our soil conditions on our farm.
We're very fortunate that a lot of growers that we work with are very forward thinking, and they're looking at the ability to add diversity, crop diversity, add productivity to their soil.
Brent Reck is a procurement manager at Purus, aka he recruits pea growers and is the main point of contact for farmers across the U.S. How many miles would you say you put on your car in a summer?
Somewhere probably around 60 to 70,000 miles a year.
Not a lot.
I work fairly closely both with our plants as far as what that demand planning is for what we will need for raw product inbound throughout a whole year. I'm working at the same time with growers throughout the U.S. on contracting their acres, what that crop planning is going to be for that next spring, so then that way we can match up what our demand is with what our future supply will be.
The Betas have a full production Act of God contract with Purus. This means no matter how much pea yield they have, Purus will buy it all. And if there's a weather-related disaster that impacts planting or harvesting, they're not penalized for yield they don't have.
When I work directly with our growers, it's not about working with a grower for 1 year. It's about being able to work with a grower year after year.
Brent has worked with the Betas for 4 years, and over the course of Riley's 14 years of farming, he's noticed other farmers thinking about diversity too.
Sunflowers coming back into rotations quite a bit, and then there's substantially more peas growing in the area. Corn is moving its way up here.
Okay, corn. Let's talk about corn. I can tell you all about it.
There's about 85 to 90 million acres of corn and soy grown in the United States. There's about 1 million acres of peas.
Why does the U.S. have so much corn and so few peas?
It has been record corn and soy years, so we've been primarily seeing interest in places where people can't grow corn and soy.
It's starting to become clear why the summertime landscape in southwest Minnesota is field after field of corn and soybeans, and practically only corn and soybeans. It's all about the market.
If I want to do a specialty crop, right, and there's no market for it, I have to essentially create a market. There's huge markets everywhere for corn and soybeans. I could take there's 2 spots in every town I can deliver my corn and soybeans almost.
The reason why farmers talk about corn and soybeans often in the same breath is because they rotate well together. Corn needs a lot of nitrogen to grow, and soybeans put nitrogen back into the ground. But 2 crops does not a diverse farming operation make, and our ag system doesn't really support diversity.
We'd love to be on a wheat rotation because that helps with weed control, that helps with soil-based diseases, that helps with bugs. But I'm just going to say for $25 an acre I can apply an insecticide. If I'm going to lose $200 an acre growing wheat, that's the math is pretty simple.
Farming is a well-established and entrenched system, and when farmers and companies work outside of it, they run up against another complex system known as the Federal Crop Insurance Program. Before crop insurance, farmers had little to no safety net, so during a bad year, farmers were kinda out of luck. In 1938, the U.S. government introduced the foundation of what we now know as the Federal Crop Insurance Program, a system where a selection of high-producing crops are more or less guaranteed by the feds. The federal government pays about 60% of a farmer's total insurance premiums, and from 1995 to 2020, about 76% of insurance payouts went to producers of 4 crops: corn, soybeans, wheat, and cotton. So, U.S. farmers mostly grow corn, soybeans, wheat, and cotton.